because that is a two-way street. Because Donald Trump has been mad at you for a very long time.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Yes. Do you see I'm a little edgy?
Yeah.
I spend like pretty much 90% of my waking hours tweeting hatred towards this administration.
It started from The View, yes?
The View.
Yeah. And it's been really, we've sort of made the joke on the show that he's flip-flopped on everything except you.
It's actually very true.
Did you ever think Melania Trump was the perfect wife, quietly standing by her husband's side? Think again. After years of keeping quiet, Rosie O'Donnell just shattered that image, revealing shocking truths about Melania's marriage to Trump that no one saw coming. From separate bedrooms to contractual agreements, Melania's response will leave you speechless. You won't believe what's really been going on behind closed doors. What's even crazier is how Seth Meyers set the stage for these explosive revelations. Stay tuned as we dive into the untold story of the Trump marriage. This isn't your average gossip, it's a bombshell you can't miss. For years, Melania Trump was seen as the perfect, quiet, and supportive wife standing by Donald Trump's side. But during her appearance on Seth Meyers' late-night show, Rosie O'Donnell completely shattered that image, exposing the truth behind the Trump marriage. What makes this even more surprising is how Seth Meyers managed to convince Rosie to open up about these shocking details on live television. As the revelations about their relationship came to light, Melania's response became crucial in determining just how true these claims were. And now, with these explosive details out in the open, Donald Trump's public relations team is scrambling to handle the fallout. Rosie O'Donnell has been one of the most persistent critics of Trump for almost 2 decades, living rent-free in his mind throughout that time. This long-standing feud between the two is why her latest revelations about his marriage have sent shockwaves through Trump's world.
There was a Tara O'Connor, I believe her name was, a young Irish lass who was Junior Miss Trump Atlantic City pageant sexist winner. And he said, just want you to know, I've forgiven her. And this young woman, I'm like, what is he, the pimp? And she's the prostitute? And who is he? He's the moral arbiter of 20-year-old behavior now, right? And she was downtown, 19-year-old girl, drinking and kissing a girl. And it was on the cover of the Post. So he held a press conference right before The View went on.
When Donald Trump decided to give Melania another chance after scandals involving drug use and underage drinking, Rosie O'Donnell wasn't having it. Their infamous feud kicked off in 2006 during The View, when Rosie openly criticized Trump for acting as the moral compass of the nation, especially when it came to Miss USA Tara O'Connor and Seth. Rosie didn't hold back, calling out his hypocrisy and labeling him a snake oil salesman straight to the camera. While most public figures would have brushed off such a comment, Trump's response was anything but measured. His reaction was explosive, revealing just how easily Rosie could get under his skin. He called her everything from overweight to a loser and even ugly, and that was just the beginning. Later on, during a presidential debate, when Megyn Kelly questioned Trump about his history of attacking women, his immediate response was to attack none other than Rosie O'Donnell. This deep-seated resentment has lingered for years. Rosie didn't just poke fun at him once and disappear, she became his most vocal, relentless critic, frequently calling attention to his flaws, business failures, and questionable character. And she didn't stop there. She spent years meticulously tracking his lies and missteps, building up what could be considered a mental encyclopedia of Trump's faults. What makes this even more intriguing is that Rosie didn't just rely on public information to critique Trump. She forged relationships with people close to him, like Michael Cohen, his former personal lawyer and fixer. After Cohen's betrayal of Trump and subsequent imprisonment, Rosie took the surprising step of visiting him multiple times. These weren't casual visits given Cohen's intimate knowledge of Trump's private life. It's likely that some shocking secrets were revealed during their private conversation. Starting in 2019, Rosie O'Donnell began making regular visits to Michael Cohen, who had once been Donald Trump's most loyal fixer. Despite being a fierce critic of Trump, Rosie formed an unexpected bond with Cohen, the man who had been intricately involved in Trump's personal and professional life. Cohen, a former attorney with access to the deepest secrets of the Trump family, wasn't just a disgraced figure, he was a treasure trove of insider knowledge. Instead of simply passing time, Rosie took full advantage of these prison visits. She knew Cohen had witnessed the real dynamics behind Trump's marriage, including managing hush money payments and dealing with extramarital affairs. Cohen had firsthand experience of the Trump family's dealings when the cameras were off, and he had information about their personal lives that no one else knew. Over the years, Rosie patiently held onto this treasure trove of information, waiting for the right opportunity to reveal the truth. That moment came when she appeared on Seth Meyers' show, a fellow vocal Trump critic. With Seth's knack for encouraging people to open up, Rosie shared the shocking details about Trump's marriage information she had gathered from Cohen that painted a very different picture than what the public had been led to believe. Through these revelations, Rosie exposed the stark reality of the Trump marriage. A cold, business-like arrangement, with separate bedrooms and a contractual nature, all of which had been kept hidden from the public eye. Thanks to her connection with Cohen, she now had the private information that Trump had worked hard to keep concealed.
Rosie, you really have to start working on your negative loop in your brain. He is not going to win. Every smart person knows he is not.
The most stunning revelation came about in the least expected setting, a late-night talk show. While Trump was busy railing against the fake news narrative, Seth Meyers, a master at transforming casual chats into compelling revelations, was the perfect host to bring out the truth from Rosie O'Donnell, a critic who knew the ins and outs of the Trump marriage. Seth Meyers isn't just another late-night host. His style blends biting humor with sharp journalism, making him a standout in getting to the heart of sensitive topics. While many comedians stick to light banter, Seth is known for delving deep, and this approach was exactly what made Rosie's revelations about Trump's marriage so captivating. The atmosphere was carefully crafted dim lighting, a relaxed seating arrangement, and playful banter about their shared disdain for Trump. This created an environment that allowed Rosie to relax and open up. As the conversation flowed, the tone shifted, and soon, the audience was hearing details about Trump's personal life that they weren't supposed to. There was a moment when the audience collectively realized they were hearing something far more significant than a typical celebrity story. Rosie, who had been in the Trump orbit for years, had finally decided to open up, and Seth was expertly guiding her through the conversation. He cleverly avoided directly asking about the marriage, but still led her to share intimate details by asking casual, seemingly unrelated questions. This back and forth allowed Rosie to spill more than she initially intended. As Seth asked probing questions, playing the role of the surprised host, Rosie dug deeper into the reality of Donald and Melania's relationship. She described the couple's separate living arrangements, their cold, business-like relationship, and how they communicated through staff when they were in the same building. The audience was captivated by these insider details. What made this even more explosive was the fact that Rosie wasn't just gossiping. She had direct knowledge from years of observation and her own connections to Trump's inner circle, including Cohen. When she revealed that their marriage seemed more like a contractual agreement than a romantic partnership, the audience was stunned. This revelation didn't stay behind the late-night show's walls. As soon as the interview aired, clips began to circulate on social media, going viral almost instantly. The hashtag #TrumpMarriageSecret began trending across Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, spreading the shocking information to millions. Rosie's insights carried weight because they came from someone who had been deeply involved in the Trump world and knew the truth. Rosie went further, explaining how the couple's marriage, long portrayed as a loving partnership, was in reality a carefully managed image. The moments we saw in public, the occasional gestures of affection, were all part of an act. In Rosie's view, the picture of a happy, supportive couple was a carefully crafted illusion to protect their image. The real bombshell, though, was the revelation about financial agreements. Rosie shared that Melania's role in the marriage wasn't based on love, but on a series of business arrangements that included campaign support, public appearances, and even payments tied to Melania's behavior. Behind the well-coiffed photos and staged public moments, the reality was far colder, and the couple's bond was sustained by a contract more substantial than Trump's ego. In paragraph 7, subsection B, Rosie went on to explain during the interview that the foundation of Donald and Melania's relationship was not built on love or mutual respect, but on carefully negotiated terms that could surprise even the most skeptical New Yorkers. She mentioned how Melania had refused to attend certain events until specific terms in their agreement were adjusted. One source told Rosie that Melania's infamous hand-swatting incidents weren't simply outbursts of irritation, but were, in fact, calculated reminders of boundary violations within their arrangement. Even Seth Meyers, who's seen it all, seemed stunned when Rosie shared details about the renegotiation that followed Trump's unexpected 2016 victory. The costs of being the first lady, as Rosie put it, had dramatically increased, especially for Melania at that time. Rosie continued by explaining how Melania allegedly hired new legal counsel to review the terms of their arrangement before agreeing to move to Washington. Meyers was visibly shocked, his eyebrows almost rising to the ceiling as Rosie dropped more financial bombs. According to her, each public appearance had a specific monetary value, with campaign events carrying a particularly high price. Rosie pointed out, "Have you noticed how rarely she speaks at these events? There's a reason for that." According to her sources, speaking engagements came at an even higher cost. Rosie also suggested that the infamous 2018 jacket, which read, "I really don't care, do you?" wasn't just a fashion statement, but a clear message to Donald about ongoing contract disputes. This, she argued, was a direct contradiction to the image both Trumps had carefully crafted over the years. The real foundation of their relationship, according to Rosie, is not love, but the financial agreements binding them, with the diamond on Melania's finger serving as the most prominent symbol of those contractual obligations. Rosie also highlighted the contradictions between the public statements of both Donald and Melania and the private reality. Melania's carefully constructed image of a loving, supportive wife is now called into question. The belief that she and Donald share a genuine marriage has been crucial to maintaining her public persona. For this reason, the exposure of their relationship as possibly transactional not only humiliates her, but shatters her entire carefully maintained image. Former colleagues have often described her as someone fiercely protective of her dignity and privacy, and this is exactly the kind of exposure she has tried to avoid. At one point during the interview, Seth Meyers asked Rosie if she was worried about potential legal consequences for revealing such intimate details, and Rosie responded with genuine surprise. "What are they going to do? Can I be sued for being honest? Go ahead and try." The audience, already on edge, could sense the gravity of this moment. The Trump team, as expected, began to deny everything and attack the messenger, continuing their usual playbook of accusations and deflections. However, this time felt different. Rosie didn't just spread rumors. She dismantled the myth that the Trump marriage was anything more than a carefully constructed facade. While Donald might continue to tweet indignantly from his golden throne, Melania is likely fuming in her own private quarters. The reality of their cold, business-like marriage where Donald is treated more like a business partner than a husband has now been exposed. It's no wonder he's often grumpy. Picture coming home to a marriage colder than Moscow's winters, and it's clear why his demeanor is so consistently sour. The truth behind the Trump marriage has finally been revealed, and the fallout is just beginning. If you want to stay updated on the latest revelations and shocking details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Stay tuned.